Stop whispering.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Kart Talk. We have our usual suspects, Tabor and Sammy. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
And we have Jeeves, who many of you have already met from as our most popular guest. Welcome again, Jeeves. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And then we have three new faces here. We have Karim the Dream and the FrenzyFans duo. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Hey, guys.
Awesome. So we have a packed agenda, but before we get into that, I'd love the new guests just to pop in. Tell us a little bit about how you got started in Mario Kart and anything interesting or fun that you'd like to be able to share with the viewers about yourself. So we'll start with you, Karim.
So I was always a big Mario Kart player, SNES, N64, Double Dash, GameCube. And then my friend told me, I didn't know about the new, Mario Kart Tour. And he told me, there's a new Mario Kart, but you don't always have to come first. It's about collecting points. And I was like, sorry, what? And you can't fall off. I was not impressed. But then once I actually got playing the game, I think I followed the same route as pretty much everyone else I've heard. I started initially with Abdullah, and I used to stay up for his, road to rank videos. I really liked those. But then as he kind of lost a bit of passion and interest in it, that led me more towards Sammy and Kart Talk, and that's what really got me involved in the Mario Kart Tour community. And yeah, from Sammy led to you, Studfit, and now I'm so invested in the game, but mainly the community. That's what's really kept me going, is the people I've met around here. I mean, the fact that I'm on a podcast chatting with you guys at 2 a.m. about a mobile game is absolutely nuts, but it shows you where I'm at.
I was going to say, talking about where you're at, you might want to let people know where you live.
Oh, yes. I live in London. That's not London, Ontario. London, UK. Yeah.
And you are officially a whale. Is that correct? Can we?
I would consider myself a whale, yes, yeah. I would do.
And the reason I say that is because we have different perspectives between everyone up from Tabor and myself, and then Sammy somewhere in the middle, probably gradually gravitating towards the whale side. But I mean, it's nice to know where people's experiences are with the game and where they kind of naturally assimilate.
I think me and you, I think we're on similar, coming from similar angle on that one, I would say.
Well, I'm excited to get your perspective in here. Go ahead, Sammy.
Also, Karim's not just a supporter of the game, but a huge supporter of the creators like you and me. Super Stud members. So for anyone watching, the special guests are Studfit Super Stud members. So if you want to be featured on a podcast, you have that ability as a Super Stud. But Karim also a major supporter of my channel, Whale Captain member. His clandestine global organization TRC did procure Kamek for me in my polls, so I have Karim to thank for that.
Now I know, Sammy, when you do those polls, you typically have a poll dedicated. Does Karim have anything dedicated to him specifically? I'm curious.
Well, like I said, the Kamek thing definitely part of it, but also Karim out of nowhere did a dono insisting I do a YOLO for the Mark II. When it came back, I really wanted it the first time around. Of course, I didn't pull on the Mario pipe for that, but it came back in that Kart pipe somewhere along the line a couple months later, and he made me do a YOLO. He threw money at me and said, "Do it," and I got it. So yeah, that's Karim's official Kart.
Yeah. Nice. That's a good Kart to have dedicated.
Oh yeah,
sure.
It's awesome.
It's a Kart.
And then the last but not least, the FrenzyFans, you probably have heard me talking about them. We have a little wager going on, and I'm so happy that they've made the transition to not just supporting this channel, but getting involved. And I'm excited to have them on this podcast. This was meant to be. So welcome, FrenzyFans. Tell the viewers who aren't watching your channel, which you, by the way, definitely go push this video on pause, check out FrenzyFans on YouTube here, and subscribe. Like some of their stuff. They do some really good content on, I think you have an all-cup ranking. You do stuff about ranked and tickets. And maybe actually start with your little spiel. I think Frenzy Fan Guy, you've nailed it. I heard Frenzy Fan Gal. You tried it this past week.
I'm horrible.
But tell them how you got started.
Yeah, so I guess our little intro to all of our videos is we talk about the races in Ranked, the points potential we can get, and the ticket transactions that might get us there.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah, like, I remember first hearing about Mario Kart Tour on, like, Android Central, like, when the game, like, first came out, and there was actually kind of, like, some negative, like, kind of shaming to it, because they were talking about, like, how, you know, like, how expensive it is for the Gold Pass when, what is it, like, there's, like, a normal, like, Google Play and, like, Android, or, sorry, like, Apple, like, monthly subscription, and you can, like, play unlimited games or whatever for the $5 a month, and people were saying, well, I can play, like, hundreds of games for $5. Like, why is Mario Kart $5 a month, too?
Right.
And so when it first came out, I was kind of like, that's kind of a bummer. But then by the time like March came around and pandemic time was, you know, starting, I was like, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and try and download it, and played it for like a couple of times, just like on and off. And I was actually, I don't know why, I was kind of keeping it secret. And one night we were like watching TV or something, and Frenzy Fangirl, she's like, what are you playing? And she's like, is that Mario Kart on your phone? I was like, so then she downloaded it, and then, you know, we started playing it more, and I was just like really interested in getting like my loadouts to be able to get 100% coverage. So I started like way back in the day with like legit Excel spreadsheets with like VBA code. I could push buttons, like, you know, in the Bam and Gerbs, how it has like the drivers on the top and then all the races on the side.
On the bottom.
Well, I had buttons that would either hide like the rows or the columns that would show like which players would give me the most coverage that I didn't have yet. And so it was like, you know, my first goal was to try and get 100% coverage. And I think I was actually probably more involved in like the Reddit community, and shout out to Sergeant Spike. He used to do every single week. He would publish what drivers got the new courses, and that was like integral for me with my sheet. Like I would look forward to every single tour for his information to come out, and so that I could, you know, work on my sheet and get that done. And then at that point, like I started these little calculators for like ranked cups, and I could see that I could figure out like what my opponents were doing, how many points I needed to get, and if the tickets, like if I needed to spend tickets in order to be able to get those points. Just like week after week, I was doing this calculator, and it was getting like really, really solid. And I was like, you know what? I bet you like people in the community would like this.
I liked it. I moved stuffing.
It might be too much in Reddit, so I was like, maybe we should start like YouTube channels where every week we have the calculator, and then we just kind of like run through like all the parts of the calculator for the 3 races. And then before you know it, like we started focusing on ACR, and then I branched out to that, and now like we've got a lot of people that you know, download the calculators, and they use them every week for rank, they use them for ACR. We've been working with Alex Young. I'm sure you guys know, you know, his predictions like mid-tour and kind of like towards the end of the tour predictions for the cutoffs for 1,110. It's just amazing, like kind of the domino effect of getting involved in the game, getting involved in the community. I mean, like reaching out to you.
Next thing you know, you're on a podcast.
Right. So it was like a couple months ago where you and I were just chatting back and forth on one of your videos about you taking Toilet Paper Mario up to 7 and 1400. I was like, whoa, I don't know, it's a Mario, and there really haven't been very like many Mario characters that have, you know, like high value, I guess, in the game. So we just kind of started talking about it. And then you're like, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Let's make a bet. I was like, let's do it. So,
Studfit, have you started shopping yet? Studfit?
It's like a whole other aspect now of, you know, just, I don't know. It's just way cool. Like all these different people that we're meeting, and just being exposed to just a bunch of really cool experiences. And so we appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
Man. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. I will say, for those who don't know your hypothesis, I think I've tried to make an attempt at describing, but why don't we just, you know, start with that? If you can, just tell the audience what your theory is. I think that'll lead to some good conversations too, just about Mario's being buffed more or less than other items.
Yeah, so, I mean, you guys have been doing for the longest time your top 10, which, again, is like another aspect of just how cool the community is, and you guys working hard. Tabor, like, you're like the unsung hero of this. Like, you are like the machine in the background that, like, so many people are talking about. So many people love, like, your content, and so anyway, like, just seeing, you know, tour after tour, you know, for like a while there, like King Babam, like the original, and like Nabbit were like the most valuable players. And when those two characters first came in the game, I was like, I've never heard of these guys. Like, I have no affinity towards them. And like a bunch of people were like getting, you know, like way excited about it. I was like, I don't know. Like I played the Mario Kart Wii, but that was really like the first Mario Kart that I played. And
wow.
I guess I don't know if they were in the Wii one or not, but I wasn't paying attention. So anyway, it just never seemed like, you know, any of the Mario characters were like the must-have characters that, you know, week in and week out are going to be like your workhorses in Ranked. And it seemed like it was these, you know, kind of like unknown characters, at least to me, that were getting the buffs. And so, you know, when we were talking originally, I was thinking, you know, maybe the vast majority of the Mario Kart player base just resonates with Mario, and they're going to be pulling for Mario. Nintendo knows this, and so like maybe they're getting like a certain cut or percentage of money from people that really just like Mario stuff. But then in order to cater to people that are really more interested in like the like more competitive aspect, they have these like more unknown characters, or
Nostalgic.
Yeah, the nostalgia characters, the people that are like really into the history. And then those ones are the ones that end up getting strategically the better buffs, I guess you could say. And so it was interesting to, you know, kind of see, was it Mario Tuxedo when he first came out? I think everyone was rooting for it. I mean, you know, we were rooting for it, you were rooting for it, you put your money where your mouth was, and you took him to max everything. I was kind of holding off. Like, I actually still have him at level 1 and 800 base points, because every time that he has been available...
You came out on the right end on that one so far.
I've had someone else better, and so I've saved tickets, and you know I play like more of a long game. I went in 100% with Kamek and the Silver King. Like I don't know if you guys saw those videos, but it was like right when you got it, it was immediate burn of those tickets, and like I'm not looking back. And so I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping that it ends up paying off, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
Well, let's be fair. Pretty much whenever a new Coinbox character comes out, the community goes crazy. They're always going to make it super useful for that tour, so they're going to make it seem like it's worthwhile to put in tickets and to just buff it all over the place and just put it at a high level. But I mean, that's pretty much what happens. If there's a new Coinbox character that comes out next tour, everybody's going to be like, "This is the one. This is our savior. He's going to come. He's going to be the one that we all focus on."
Unless it's
and then
a Mario.
They just go crazy on him.
Unless it's a Mario.
Well,
Mario Hakama,
I think people and I agree.
Vito.
No, I totally agree with that. But it's Coinbox, so people just go nuts, and they don't even care if it's Mario. They just they're blinded by that, and they just think about everything else about Coinbox.
Right.
I follow.
Yeah. So, do you? Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you guys think, Karim, Jeeves, Sammy? Do you feel that Mario's get less buffed, or do you think it's all about equal, or how do you guys feel about Mario's specifically? Do they get snubbed or not?
Well, they can't have a universal rule for it, because otherwise, you know, there's just so many Marios. So if they did want to prefer Marios, they'd have to prefer lots of them. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm still in the theory that they buff based on how many people pulled. The fewer people, the least money they make from pipe pulls every tour. They buff those drivers more. If everybody pulls, they don't buff them as much. To me, it just makes the most sense from a business standpoint. So, you know, I could see the same thing happening to Kamek, where, you know, got a real quick rocket to the top, a nice peak there at the front, like King Babam, and then kind of like not much action from there.
Yeah, I think, you know, me personally, I really don't care about characters and variants and stuff. You saw it with Santa Mario; he's not doing anything. So when Tuxedo Mario came out, it was a coin box. So yeah, I definitely put all I could that I had in him, just because he was coin box. But I'm more interested in like the new characters, like Nabbit. I mean, when Nabbit came out, there was a lot of hype for him. I mean, even though it was in coin box, Lucky 7 was still pretty good skill. So I think and he performed very well. When he came out. I mean, and he still, I think, used a lot today. So if it comes to new characters, so I think getting into that, I think people get excited for, and I think the newest one now is Petey Piranha. So
or Wiggler,
we'll see or Wiggler. I think a lot of people are into, and I think Sammy, you've really pushed that. I think with just new characters, there's a lot out there. So
some Mario is going to get it at some point. Some Mario is going to become
absolutely.
Huge.
I mean,
we don't know. It is weird that we haven't had it. Halloween Mario was kind of
right, and that's value, and Mario is the face of the franchise, so he's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Speaking from my point of view, when it comes to, I'm on the same page as Jeeves on this. I don't particularly look at characters per se. I've largely been underwhelmed by Mario characters. The only one that I was excited for was Mario Tuxedo. I look back, I wish Mario Sunshine got a lot more love, because it's freaking cool, and I absolutely love Giant Banana. I mean, my favorite moment in a game, better than Boombox or whatever, is seeing just banana hit. I honestly, that's what I live for, and I almost never get it. I get it more with Donkey Kong than I do with Mario Sunshine.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, and so Kamek straight in massively for all that. Nabbit, King Bob-omb. If another brand new character comes out, that's pretty much where I'm going to go. There'll need to be something special with a Mario character, because I haven't really thought about it, but when you ask that question, I have a feeling of being underwhelmed when it comes to Mario alts in general.
Yeah, I will say from my perspective, and I'm sure it shocked a lot of people to see someone get triple capped that early and or that stage. I mean, this was months ago. I think we're starting to see a lot more common now, because people have had tickets and they've seen Kamek and they've wanted Kamek. But I think from my perspective, it was like, hey, this person is going to peak now, and everything new that they're going to be getting, it could be ranked at a higher rate than say who was at the top of my list before, which was Rosalina Swimwear. I was like, I'll get to her, but right now I want to hit this driver while the percentage in ranked over the next couple months are going to be higher than the other Coinbox drivers. That's how I went at it, not even thinking about like Mario has this reputation or not. So from that perspective, I was like, hey, it's a Coinbox driver. It's just a matter of time before it hits the top 10, because outside of like Party Time Pauline and Mario Hakama, everyone else has been in the top 10 to some extent. So, from my perspective, it's like, hey, it's just a matter of time. And then, the anniversary, everyone was kind of talking about how close the anniversary was. But I looked at the calendar, it was like 2 or 3 months away. I was like, we have plenty of time. And now look at me now, I'm sweating. So we'll see how it goes.
To your point, though,
objectively, it's not fair. In that moment in time, I don't think it was necessarily a poor decision. It's just the way that they treated him. I don't think it was a bad call, a bad bet to make. It just looks like it's not turning out your way. That's just
he'll be all right.
He'll be fine.
No, you Studfit.
Out of their way to
Okay, we'll see.
I do have to go onto Amazon and order a beard. So that is
now. Hold on, I have something to say about this. I've noticed you comment on this. You've said you're just going to get a beard, but no,
I have a hat.
Think not just a hat.
I'm putting
not just the lights. You need a shell.
Shell. Wow. Okay.
I mean, if Frenzy Fanboy had lost the bet, he would get a legit white tuxedo. I know it, with the white top hat. He would not spare any expense. You have to get a giant turtle shell, full Christmas lights. I mean, we can go a hat and the little he's got like a little
Does he have a vest thing?
It's not a. Yeah, or like a tunic. It's almost like if you take one of those things that you put at the bottom of a Christmas tree, you could probably craft something cute like that. So I want to see what you can come up with.
I'll have to find some craft shows in town.
Yeah.
That's true.
Halloween
That's true. I could double it up. Yeah, that's a good point. Get the most out of that. Well,
Your kids will love it.
I'm sure they will. What's not to love about a giant man with a shell on his back wearing a tutu for a vest?
I think you need to dye your eyebrows red.
Oh yeah, dye and paint your
absolutely.
face green.
He does.
And
It is like there's like the Christmas tree, like, what is that called?
Wreath.
No, not
yeah,
the wreath, but like the
it's
skirt.
a skirt around your neck, and you need the bag and the present really if you really want to.
I want to see the blinking Christmas lights.
All right,
Anyways.
so, fans, you can call your shot. Do you want it on a podcast? Do you want it on the rundown? I mean, it's pretty destiny that I'm going to lose this bet. But if you have a preference, call your shots now. Apparently, Amazon's going to really love me this week, so appreciate that. Now, FrenzyFans, you said something that caught my attention. You mentioned how you went all in on Kamek, mainly talking about FrenzyFans Guy, and you went for top 100. You went to put your tickets to go for the dream of all dreams, the top 100, and so does Sammy D. Tell us a little bit about your...
Oh, mate. Well,
What do you guys? How was the experience? What'd you think? What'd you think? And for those who may not have seen, how did it go? How did it end up?
So, Sammy, my heart goes out to you, like 100%. I don't know if this is the first time that you like really tried
first
for
time.
top 100, but like 3 months ago, Bowser's my favorite character, and when the Bowser vs. DK tour came, I so wanted that Bowser badge. Like I just thought, like when it first came up, I was just thinking, oh, like this will be great. I've already gotten a couple like top 1,000 badges. But then I was looking at loadouts, and I was like, oh my gosh, I might actually like have a chance at getting this top 100. And I did everything that I could. Like I even took like that Tuesday, like the last day of the tour, I took it off of work. I had literally spent like 14 hours straight.
I was out of town for a week.
We were out of town for a long time. And
Perfect
so
timing.
like, it was everything that I could. And I came up 107. I think it was like 11,000 points shy. And it's heartbreaking. Like so much, like when you're trying so hard for that, and it's just like so close. So then from that point, I was like, you know what? The next time that a Bowser tour comes up, or like one of his minions comes up, that it looks like I'm gonna have like the stars are gonna align, and I'm gonna have like a good loadout, I'm gonna be ready. And so I didn't spend. I think I spent a total of 2 tickets on the Dark Hop Rod to get it from level 3 to level 4, just because it was like up until that point one
Love
of the
that
coolest
move.
looking cards in the game. But besides that, I had saved tons and tons of tickets. And then when the Kamek Tour came, like I unloaded everything: the new driver, the new cart, so the Silver King, and then the Dream Glider. Just immediately was level 7, triple uncapped, and taking a look at Tabor's information and stuff, it was, I think, almost half of all the courses could be covered by those 3 items in one form or another. And really, like, that's what it came down to, was just really playing the long game, having the tickets saved up, being excited about the tour, having the hype for it, and then just executing. So I mean, I totally feel for you, Sammy. Like, I've been there, and it was really just kind of like a stepping stone. Really, my ACR calculator was kind of born from that experience.
Right.
Because it really kind of helped me see, do I have the loadouts? Is my skill in the game sufficient to be able to get to that score that's required? And so it's been a great experience overall. But totally,
you had the goods. Every video I saw of yours, and you were like, I'm so nervous. I was like, dude, you're gonna be fine. Like, I was like, I'm the one who's gonna worry here. I did not save up tickets for months. I just had the normal amount of tickets I would have in a tour, maybe 5 or 6 driver tickets. I didn't have a lot of time that week, and I was even like, the first day of the tour, I was not even planning on going for it. It was through the course of the tour that I got into it. And I was like, okay, I just have to decide now. I got to be okay with not getting it, and so I was. But to come up 4K shy of top 100 and place 103, it stung a little bit just because I was like, I could have literally just spent 1 or 2 more hours and got it probably. But and I didn't get Kamek to 7 until that last day because my shop got shut down basically in week 2 and I didn't get any more tickets. So I had to pull for him again on the final day. That's why I got only 300 rubies right now. So. But it was totally worth it, the whole experience, and I enjoyed watching your videos for the tips and the strats. And but yeah, I knew you had it in the bag.
So we were watching your videos on that last day, and when I was coming home from work, I was freaked out because I was like, "Oh my gosh, what if
dude? Like
Sammy
I was not kicking. No, I would. Sure, yeah, and I was worried about
this
that
unprecedented like surge at the very end.
It was. I mean, it was an unprecedented turnout. It was an unprecedented turnout. It was a huge. I think it was still the biggest turnout we've had.
It was intense. Karim, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, I was watching quite keenly on Sammy's sort of progression and watching like the last 24 hours, the last 48 hours, and it was so clear to me that the only reason Sammy didn't achieve it was a time. Obviously, the skill was there, and I could see him running these tracks with all the bad bots. And I know
that's so much
doing ACR is I have to get rid of the bad bots. Like
certain tracks, especially,
so crucial. And okay, I've got a much stronger loadout than Sammy. I can maybe get away with it a lot more. I honestly believe that if Sammy had like an extra 6 hours, not even that, literally one track, get rid of the badge bots, have a great run, easily could have been 10K more potentially. And while I was watching this, because I was watching it post the fact the next day, and I was like, no one ruin it for me. I want to see what happens. And I was just thinking, oh my God, get rid of the badge bots. But little did I know you had an hour left. And I felt terrible. I ended up writing this massive message on Discord, basically almost saying, as if, I'm so sorry. It sounds, I made it sound like his family had died. So bad. I was like, whatever, mate. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine. I was like, okay.
No, I did appreciate the support. It was super fun to try, and it was fun to put my money where my mouth was. Where it's like, all right, I don't even have stacks. This is my big tour. I'm going all in. I don't care if I go in the next tour with nothing, even if my rubies go down to 200 rubies just before anniversary. It's like, I'll just be in the position that a lot of other players are in sometimes, and I'll work with it. It'll be fun, challenge. And so now I'm like sitting with 75 of 100 on Kangaroo Yoshi's pipe, and I don't have them, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I mean,
you'll be okay.
Anniversary tour. By the time you guys hear this, we could have anniversary tour announced. But.
You never know. I will say, I think you were pretty blissful that whole tour, regardless of what was happening. So
absolutely,
couldn't ruffle your feathers at all. I'm curious for both of you guys, I guess both of you guys, if there's one thing that you would have told yourself as you started grinding ACR, what would be one thing that you would tell yourself? Because the reason I'm saying this is maybe somebody really loves, Peachette, and there's like a Peachette tour 2 tours from now, and they want to go all out. They want to get that Peachette badge, and they want to maybe learn. They want that starting with that one tip that you give them.
I'll go back to one of my very early practices in the game that I very much have slacked off in year 2 on, and that's grinding base points on drivers that you might not think you're ever going to double or triple cap. Because in every random ACR, there's maybe one normal. In this case, it was Baby Luigi had a track. For me, that's 7 triple caps. I could go for Boombox on Luigi's Mansion and actually get the best possible score. But I had not triple capped. In fact, I had double capped them, but I was out of base point tickets. So if you're thinking of going for ACR one day, don't start slacking on every day when you're getting your dailies. Just race with the people you haven't quite finished. And if there's boomerang drivers, go ahead and double cap a normal boomerang driver. Go ahead and get those base points up so that when the time comes, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Because I actually spent 4 or 5 hours grinding base points on DK triple cap, Baby Luigi triple cap, and it was just a waste of time given I could have been going ahead and going for runs. And base points, are only one component, but if you do have it maxed out, I'm sure the point people here could talk about how important that is. So.
I mean, the thing I would say, just to take it one step further, just to show you how important I think base points are, I think currently my normal gliders, I have them all level 7, and I think only one left to be triple capped.
Wow.
just because when I'm doing base points for other things, I've got no other gliders to do.
Yeah.
I'm just doing
just throw them in
as well. And I'm never going to use them or whatever, but I just thought, what the hell, I'll do it anyway. I went through a period of about 2 months where I was just doing base points, just on auto. And it's absolutely.
I used to do it the entire first year. Every daily 300, 600 coin dailies, I was focusing so strategic on base points for everything, and I just kind of slacked off. Like, I'm good from here. But yeah, just kind of keep your eye on the prize with that.
What about you, FrenzyFans guy?
Yeah, so Frenzy Fangirl, she actually has a really good strategy for the base points.
Well, I don't know if it's a strategy. It's probably just common sense, but I never not buy like the level boost tickets whenever they pop up at my shop.
Yeah. I've started doing that now.
Yeah. It's one of those things that can kind of fly under the radar that you kind of ignore because you're like, oh, it's only like 100 coins, and you see them so much. But really, if you just buy them like when they come up, if it's one a day for who knows how many weeks, like you can get a good stash. I think you need to take something from 400 base points to 1,400. I think you need a total of 40 tickets. And each ticket is worth 50 points, which is 5 first place runs.
Right.
So it's like
a lot of time
200
saved.
first place runs. That's just a bunch of time. That 100
so
coins, like day in and day out, is like the return on investment of those 100 coins
100%.
for the amount of time, right?
Totally.
Especially like
and you never know when you're going to need it.
Yeah, like when you're trying to take Kamek from 800 base points up to the 1,400 base points, you're not going to race him 200 times just to get him to the position to start getting competitive. Like,
you're going to be stuck with
the very first race, very first day of that whole tour to be maxed. Boom, right there.
Yeah.
So,
Really good.
I've always thought that like if they ever had some sort of deal or pack or even like a pipe that had just level up tickets, people would go nuts on that because they desperately need it.
Yeah. I always get excited when they're in the I always get excited when they're in the premium challenge card. Just like the $5 extra one. A lot of times they have them stacked in there, so every time they are, I snag one.
It's a very boring fundamental of the game that you can easily lose sight of, and just make sure you're keeping tabs on it.
It's still kind of ingrained in my mind. I do remember there's one video where Abdallah was like, just go ahead and use these points tickets. Nintendo's not going to buy them back. And I was like, yeah, that's right. I'm just going to be sitting here with all these tickets. I should just use them all. And then later on, like I realized how valuable they were, and now I like hoard them. Of course, the driver one is always the one that I'm lacking the most. It seems like I have a lot of cards and ladders from the packs and stuff. But
because you'll pull
true.
a
You guys
new.
don't get the packs, right? Oftentimes they come in the packs, the Ruby packs.
it's just like one. You only get like one.
It's one though, yeah.
Kind of lame sauce.
If you get a couple packs though. Yeah, that's a good point. FrenzyFans guy, any there's one thing that you would tell yourself as you were starting your AussieKart ring that you think would help you, or that you would want to maybe tell somebody that might be preparing for an AussieKart ranking run at some point?
Yeah, so shameless plug. I'm telling you. So the ACR calculator that we have like in the description of all of our videos, like it's totally worth it going through at the very beginning of the tour, or at least when all of the like cups are unlocked, just going through and seeing what driver cart and gliders that you're going to be potentially using and put them in there, and then what the levels and the base points are, and then go ahead and run like 4 or 5 races and record that. See what your average actions are, and then your average bonus points per action. And the calculator tells you how many average actions you need to get with your loadout in order to be able to get to top 100 or top 1000 or top 10, whatever you put in there from the Alex Young, his predictions. And it'll let you know if you're close or not. And if you're not close, then you can go and say, okay, well, I've got so many tickets. You can put in the calculator before actually putting any tickets anywhere. Use the calculator to put the tickets in there and see, okay, well, this gets me like 4 actions on average closer to getting to top 1000. And maybe if I level up this glider, now I'm 6 actions closer to it. So, I mean, really, like, it kind of took a long time, and my hard experience like Sammy D's to come up with this idea of making the calculator. But now that I've done it for close to like a dozen tours now, I guess, like I've really honed it in, and it's really, I think it's invaluable, and it really doesn't take a whole lot of time to just fill out and kind of get used to. And, a lot of our videos, we go through how to use it and stuff. So if you need like tutorials or whatever, you can find that. So
every time I fill it out, I realize how far off I am. So it saves me a lot of time.
Usually like 10 or 15 actions, like average away from getting there. And that's kind of a lot. So.
Well, all those people who paused this video and went and subscribed to you, they now have all that information at their fingertips. So these people are now, we're going to probably have all these people going for All Cup ranking. Who knows how many. Now, probably next is Tabor. Tabor, you're probably next for top. Yeah, exactly. Tabor, you're next for top 100, aren't you? You think that's ever in your future?
No. The last tour, I played around with it a little bit. I was like, I wonder if I could break 1 million. I knew that wasn't even going to get me top 1,000, but I was like, I wonder if I could break 1 million. So I did some grinding for like a couple hours, and I got to like 975,000, and I was like, okay, I'm bored. I'm done with this. I don't care anymore. So it's just, great for you. This has been a wonderful conversation hearing you guys talk about something that I care nothing about, but wonderful. I'm glad that you guys find some quality of life in all this, but that's good. I'm just waiting for the next segment to start.
How do you really feel?
Yeah, tell we have to.
No, I just said it. Were you not listening, Sammy? I just said it.
Well, from your perspective, you grind every track, every new track, right? Like until it no longer has that the EXP sound little motion at the top, right?
So I used to, for a long time, I used to just grind and grind and grind because I was like, when it went from 100 to 150, and then we were getting like all this back points that we had ground in the past. I was like, oh, this is amazing. So when I got to 150, I was like, I'm not going to stop because I'm going to be ahead of the game. Whenever it hits 200, it's just going to like boom, be all the way up to 200, and people are still going to be behind, and I'll have an advantage over all these other people in my ranked, and this will be great. So I did that for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months or something after 150 was released, and after I got to 150, and I just kept going. And every tour, I was like eagerly awaiting, and I was waiting for it to pop up, waiting for that level 200, and it never came, and it never came, and it never came, and I was just like, gosh. And it just, grinding those points, once you get above level 100, once you get above level 150, you just get tiny percentage added on. It takes so long. And it's just like, and you never know where you are either. So you're like racing, and then you're just looking to see if the little percentage goes up, and you hear the noise or whatever. And I'm like, I got to do it again. And I do it, and I got to do it again. And I keep going. And it's just so frustrating. But eventually, I was just like, I am done. And people were like, you got to keep grinding, especially these city tracks. You never know when you're going to see them again. I was like,
yeah.
Forget it. I'm going to get burnt out in this game if I keep doing this. So I haven't been doing it lately, and I'm curious about where I would end up if it does get released in the near future. But
when?
I don't know.
Please tell me when. Otherwise, I've wasted many an hour, many a day of my life. Please tell me when, not if.
Well, before we moved on, because there's a lot of things I'd like to talk about, including the new update that we just got released to today, and I want to get to that in a second. But while we are on the topic of All Cup ranking, ThisBeChris asks a question. Sorry, Tabor, just a little longer. Would it be possible to poll ER or other groups regarding average loadout strengths for the drivers, karts, and gliders, and kind of see where people are that are making the top 100? In the term of those average loadouts. So I sent out as member leader of ER. I reached out to the community, try to get some responses. Obviously, I got some whale responses. In the All Cup ranking spreadsheet that DKR does, and he's done a phenomenal job. And kudos to him. And Antolev has helped him out. I've even been on their chain. Curtis is involved too. But essentially, at the very bottom, it says like your average level, and then your average base points of all of your drivers, karts, and gliders. And so I kind of wanted to take a look at the last couple tours I didn't see too much deviation among the large whales between these different tours, but I noticed that the closer you got to dolphin level, because not all whales are the same, the closer you got to dolphin level, the more you saw some disparity. As a good example, like with a city track, the thing is, like, everyone's using tickets every tour, so it does kind of go up, but city tours even did slightly take a hit. So that's why I mentioned in the rundown, this might be a great tour to go for All Cup ranking, because you have all these city tracks with these obscure loadouts. I mean, I used a brown off-roader with level 4 last week. I can't remember last time I used a level 4 cart. So I looked at it. Long story short, I looked at it for this tour. I think it was like a 6.8 level driver and like a 1150 or something level base points driver, and it would so it was about that for the glider as well. But the carts were a little bit lower. I think it's because there's so many carts. Now, I asked FrenzyFans about yours. Obviously, you put a lot of tickets last tour, and so that investment is also helping you this tour. But if I remember correctly, it was not quite in the 9s. Where do you remember where that was? And because I think some people might say, hey, do I have what it takes to go for All Cup ranking? And I think, if you looked at your levels, at the Kamek Tour, like, that might be a good benchmark for someone to say, okay, my average is similar to FrenzyFans guys. Let me go ahead and this might be my tour. But I'm not sure if you have those numbers in front of you. But, like, what was some of your average loadout for top 100?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So
while he's looking, I remember yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
I was just saying, like, Antelope and Borja and a couple of people told me too. Like, you look down that list and basically see averages of 5s and 6s and a couple 7s popping in, not on average, but some 7s. I did kind of a crash course, and so he helped me a lot decide what to invest in.
Yeah. So
I would say, yeah.
Go ahead.
Antelope's sort of improvement on sort of add-on to BAM Gubs, I think is great. But in terms of for ACR, I think heat map is absolutely, for me, absolutely fundamental. I would say to anyone who's roughly thinking about it, whatever your estimation score is, if you can get to 90% of that, if that 90% mark is around that top 100, mark you're looking for, I'd say it means you can go for it. That's how I would personally look at it.
Fanboy?
Yeah. So, not taking a look at the Kamek Tour, and I've been getting like top 1000s outside of Kamek Tour. I was averaging probably around like 5.4, 5.5 on the level for the driver. Probably about 4.75 for the cart, and gliders probably about the same, 4.75. But for the Kamek Tour, I averaged 6.72 for driver, 6.33 on cart, and 6.17 on glider. So everything
That's why I told you had it.
Yeah, everything, like, especially driver. Like, I think I had everything level 7 except for, I think on 4 tracks I had, I think it was like a couple of the Choco Islands where I had like Mario Sunshine at level 4, and I think that was 2 tracks, and there was someone else that I think I had like at level 5, but everyone else was 6 and majority was 7. So
just to back up what Karim was saying too, though, like, if you can also pull these different resources together, use the heat map, look at that percentage of peak action count, and those are always being adjusted. They're not always exactly perfect. ER guys and everyone involved is always trying to hone that in, so take that with a little bit of grain of salt. But it is a fun exercise for yourself, and even for someone like Tabor, maybe to be like, okay, let me take this one cup this week and let's see if I can get 90% on the whole cup. It's kind of like just to get some perspective on, okay, could I get this percentage on this track? It is fun to see if you can push the limits, and I was surprised at I actually did better than I thought I would.
So yeah, I think if you went for it, I think everyone would be. You would surprise yourself. As
definitely,
I think a good point.
Yeah.
So I did end up filling out the ER, the heat map workbook, I guess, as well for the Kamek Tour, and the action percentage. You know how it has like that column that says of the total potential that you could probably get on this. I only averaged an 83%, which
That's
probably isn't like at the level of like a lot of the 100 drivers, but I think due to the fact that I had higher levels and higher base points that covered or, kind of made up for the 83%, whereas, probably a lot of the people that are consistently getting top 100 are more on the 85 to 90, maybe even 95%. So it kind of goes back to the tool that we've got. It takes your capability into account, and it's dynamic. As you're going through the tour, it gets more and more accurate as to where you're going to land. So.
No, extremely helpful. I mean, all these tools we didn't even have like 6 months ago. So I think it's phenomenal that the community has built this. And thank you for you and Alex working together on that. I think all these tools are so much helpful. For me, I mean, I actually look at the gain column, and I just try to get within 10,000 of my max. And for me, like that gets me in the top 100 every time. Now I have really good loadouts. So for me, I'm lazy about it. I'm like, you've probably seen Carlos's streams. I waits till like the last 2 days and throws in a couple hours here and there. I don't know if I'm that lazy, but I feel like I'm pretty lazy. I literally wait till like the Saturday before and start grinding there. Big Smith does ask, because you bring up a good point, which is like, hey, it's cool just to see that you can do it, but at the end of the day, at the end of the rainbow, it's just a badge. What are your thoughts on maybe doing like what if Nintendo released a ranked-style ACR every tour? You get matched up with 20 people of the same algorithm or kind of same ranked algorithm, and then you get rewards for it, rubies, etc. And I think it would. He believes it could add an additional element to extend the life of the game and also get those grinders more excited to do more than out of ranked, and might push the overall All Cup ranking scores as obviously a trickle-down effect of that. What are your thoughts? I know, Tabor, that's probably your biggest fear. But what are your thoughts on having like a side competition ranked ACR in addition to ranked, where you get even more rubies?
Honestly, on my end, and I was having this discussion with somebody, is that the people who are going to dominate the ACR are the people who are investing the most money in the game.
Yes.
Just to be completely frank, that's what it's going to be. And so those are the people that are making this game possible for so many other different players out there. And I just find it so insulting that they are giving the people who are making this game happen and are spending the most money a single badge for doing ACR. I just feel like that's ridiculous. Like, they're rewarding. It's like there's a local race here in town. You're going to get gold for the award, but then you're going to go to the Olympics and get, a snack pack pudding pop. I don't know. It's just dumb. It's just like they're just
Tabor.
Let's hear from the whales.
A pudding.
The thing is if you're spending a lot of money in the game, rubies actually aren't like the most valuable thing. Yeah. Like, to be honest,
I mean,
like if
they're more valuable than badges.
Yeah, that's true.
No. So that's the thing, though. Once you get to the
just bragging rights,
it is bragging rights, and it's like when I ended up getting my top 100, there are only 90 of these badges that exist in the entire world.
But to Tabor's credit, for those who don't care about bragging, I have no interest in wasting 2 weeks.
Well, don't you feel like if you can accumulate X number of badges, then you get something? I mean, there's got to be something.
Maybe some base point tickets.
Let's hear from let's hear from Jeeves and Karim. I mean, these are the whale top 100 guys.
What would you want?
The badges for me, I mean, they're nice. They don't really. I don't know. I don't really hold them close to me.
You don't hang them up on your wall? You don't put them on the fridge?
No, and okay. And the other thing is, I don't. It kind of comes from me. Kareem's trying to get me to use a spreadsheet and stuff with Antilever. I don't know which one you sent me. I just don't have time to fill it out with everything. So I don't use heat maps. I don't use spreadsheets.
He just gets in there and crushes it.
You're just a natural.
Yeah, well, and I think one of the things that actually helps me kind of keep up with it is, I've started this game from the very beginning. I wasn't a whale at the very beginning, but I became one, about maybe 6 months in. I can't really remember. And I'm lucky enough that I do have, people in the top 100 on my friends list. So basically what I do to grind is I compare myself to other people that have some, that are like me, and try to achieve that. I do have some whales that I just can't even, touch, but I do have some that we are on a similar playing level. So that's how kind of I push myself through each tour. As far as the badge, no. And the other thing is, I don't really like to use a badge on my profile with a top 100, because if I'm in someone's ranked, they're going to be like, oh, I kind of like to be, kind of hidden.
A sleeping giant.
Right. Now, right now,
Wow.
I do have my Kamek badge going. I do have my Kamek badge going because I think it's that was the tour that I really worked hard on, like really busted in, and so I have that as my profile badge because I'm very proud of it. I will probably take it off next tour, and going even further, I think there are a lot of top 100, even maybe top 10 guys. They don't even take their badges when they get them.
Is that true?
Because they don't. Because you can look at all their badge history, and you can have. I've had this in my ranked once. I had this guy. I couldn't distinguish his name or anything. I looked up his badge history. He had one top 1,000 badge, and he annihilated me. And he was probably like
He's probably
top
a cheater,
100.
to be honest with you, but
I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, you can act, if you really, really want to be hidden, don't accept those top 10 badges.
But this gets to the question of sleeping not even being a thing. It's not a thing. It doesn't. Sleeping has no purpose.
But I'm talking about. I'm talking about just ACR.
Why would they?
You don't get it. You don't get anything for sleeping. I don't understand why. I know this is. I think this is a very unique situation that you're experiencing.
Yeah.
I don't think people do this often. I think most people get the badge, they use it for that tour, and move on to the next badge. I will say for myself, I've gotten top 100 every single tour except for two. One was the first one because I didn't think I could do it, and then another one was just during Thanksgiving last year. It was a trick tour, and I wasn't expecting the casual whales to basically full combo tracks that they don't typically. Full combo. So I underestimated the competition. I didn't have a lot of time because I was with my family for Thanksgiving, but I didn't get it then, and I've gotten top 100. I think there's just, for me, it's like now, I think if I were to not get a top 100 badge, I would feel like a relief. Like I don't have to go for it every tour, but like now it's like I'm committed. I literally have like 50. So I'm like, I can't not do it. It's like it's an addiction.
But like, getting back to Big Smith's questions, I don't know if that's really would really help this, anything. It would probably
extend the game. Yes,
it would bring more dolphin revenue in, I think, because it would let people think they could compete and get it, and then there'd be a lot of people that kind of are on the cusp, but they would spend a little more money to try. But I don't think you really incentivize anyone with rubies. Maybe tickets, but. Seems like the whales always have enough coins to buy as many tickets as they want, pretty much anyway.
My firm belief is if you really want to incentivize, you give more rewards for Gold Pass.
You've been pushing that.
I said that when I first was on the show. Gold Pass does not get enough rewards. Yeah, hands down.
No, lastly, just on the ACR thing. I would take rubies or whatnot. I admit, the first time I got the badge, it was. I was such a relief. I was exhausted. It was, a proud moment, terrific. If there were definitely some, I would welcome the competition if there were some rubies or some, uncapped tickets. But I immediately, as soon as I get that badge, immediately bang. I want someone, next week to look down their rank, see top 100, Kanye East, and go, oh crap. What am I going to do? I want people. I want to strike.
You want someone to crap themselves. Yes.
Absolutely. But then I got that same feeling 2 weeks ago when Studfit was in my ranking. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Maybe I can give Studfit a good run for his money. I look at his loadout. Out of the 9 items, 7 was level 7 triple capped. And I was like, Oh my days! I don't believe it. What have I come in? Luckily, Studfit was very kind and managed to let me come in first in my rank.
I wonder what that would feel like. Oh.
Yeah, Sammy.
I don't know. I don't know how you guys do it. But no, I love for the competition. Like, all my best moments have been when I've looked at it and I've thought there's no way I can win this, and I've managed to grind it out and win it. And as quite a big whale, that doesn't happen very, very often. And I've usually managed to make it. But this time with Studfit was the one time where there was not, if Studfit went for it, there was literally nothing I could do. I don't care. You could put Carlos in he wouldn't make any difference. But, you know, it was very, very kind. So I would love the competition. And if increased rewards over a badge would bring in more of that, I'm all for that personally.
Yeah, I think just to wrap a bow on it, you know, it's a great question for Big Smith. And I think, you know, would it prolong the game? Maybe. I also feel like it could also get people to get too burnt out on the game, because I don't think All Cup ranking is for the faint of heart. It is something that is grueling. It is not
true.
It's not something you want to go for every track or every tour. So I think that for those who would be like, hey, I like just having the couple hours every week, I get to play this game. I mean, there's some people that are on Discord more than they are actually playing the game. I think I've now that we have this channel. And in our Discord, I could probably put myself in that same category. But I think it actually would deter people from playing this game longer. But it would be nice if they gave us some kind of rewards. I was thinking maybe some base tickets, or some kind of tickets, or something in addition to that badge. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's not why we do it. But it would be nice. Like, I think for Tabor, if Tabor was with other Tabors, the people that are at your skill level, and you did All Cup ranking, you could get more rubies. I think that would be be a good thing.
Or a nice middle ground is the TPC, not to be confused with the CTP.
A PCT?
The total points challenge. When they unveiled it, I was like, great idea, but for a player like me, the top threshold is still very easy to get. Now, I guess there's a lot of people who it's still a big challenge, but why don't they put one or two more tiers on the top of that? Like, one more like expert level where it goes from 600 to 1 million. Put one for 1 million and give me another set of tickets or something. I mean, that might be a nice middle ground.
I agree. Tabor, is getting those 600, is that easy or hard?
It's easy. I usually
okay.
I mean, I grind all the tracks. So here's my thing as a Gold Pass Plus is I go through all the tracks. I don't typically unlock any of the cups until like Saturday or Sunday. I think, what is it? If you don't unlock any of the cups, you would be done with the last cup on the following Monday. Is that right?
Yeah. So people usually use their one quick ticket each time to get the ACP on a Sunday.
So I usually get the all clear pipe either on Saturday or Sunday. But anyway, I grind all the tracks once. I actually, for the second week of ranked, I use bottom shelf everything.
Yeah.
I don't try to up those scores at all for the second week.
Just
ranked.
In case it helps.
Just in case it helps, and I think it used to. I feel like it really used to work for me, but lately not so much. But anyway, it's just old habits. And I don't even get all the stars or anything, and then I get all the stars everywhere else. And then I don't touch those tracks really ever again. And just by doing that, I'm able to get my 600K.
I like it. We had an icebreaker that we were going to ask at the very beginning of this call, but now that we are an hour in, I think it actually kind of pertains to what we're talking about, which is, what is your favorite badge? It doesn't have to necessarily be a top 100, or it doesn't have to be anything. But what does that badge mean to you? And I think this helps people get to know you guys. So we'll start with the new single person here, Karim. Tell us a little bit about your favorite badge. Why?
So I'll be honest with you. It's probably as you expect. It was my first top 100 badge. It was the Tokyo Tour, I think it was, where Racing Mario came along, and I grinded. I spent more time, I think, on that tour than I have any other tour, and the reward I got from it, I felt such relief. Felt like I'd run a marathon. I have no affiliation at all to Racing Mario. I think I've still got him at level 1. Doesn't help me at all. But yeah, that was the big moment for me. I can't think of another badge at all, to be honest with you, besides that.
FrenzyFans.
So for me, I've never even come close to ACR. So all my badges are kind of boring, but I like my Kart Pro one because I hate multiplayer with a passion. I hate it so much. And I was proud that I got that one, so.
I think the Kart Pro is probably one of the more exhilarating ones, especially like back in the day when you had to get first place 3 times in a row. That was a challenge. Like that was a legit challenge, and getting it like hearts pumping. You know, when you're getting on that third race towards like the last half, you're like, please don't be cheap. Please don't be cheap. No, no blue shells, no lightning. Please, please, please. And then you get it, and it's like, I think that's the first time that I've actually like jumped up and screamed and been like, yes. So yeah, Kart Pro. It's definitely
Kart Pro.
I remember when you got it. You were pretty happy.
I was really excited. I may have. I cussed a lot that night.
Hopefully, cussing of joy. Yeah, at the end there. Exactly. Good. Jeeves, what about you, man? What would be your favorite badge?
I mean, the one that I hold dear and dear to my heart is my first top 100, like Karim, which was I think the one that had Bowser Santa.
Nice.
I mean, I don't use it, but I mean that's kind of one that I remember. I think my 2 favorite like non ACR ones. I like the Ice Brothers hockey because I'm a Blackhawks fan, and Blackhawks were pretty good at the time, and it was really cool. I kind of sported that for during the winter months. And then the other one is the blooper seafood bar or something. Yeah. And just because I was just kind of surprised that they put so much put some attention on blooper, and I've used that in the past. So those I think are my 2 favorite.
Nice. Sammy, I think we might take a guess.
No, it's not the Kamek badge.
Okay,
in fact, I actually wasn't crazy about what they did with the Kamek badge. It's not my favorite illustration of him. He looks like an angry old grandpa or something in that one. But the one that I always used is the lightning cup badge, just the gold circular lightning. I don't even know why. I don't have an attachment to
Shiny used that one.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I think it reminds me of just like the old school Mario Kart cup emblems that they've kept. So I just kind of used it ever since, and it just kind of stuck. I liked how it looked next to my name. But I do love the since '92 road sign. I've been playing since '92. I'd probably be using that one if I hadn't stumbled into this lightning cup. I don't know. But there's some cool designs. I really love when they do the restaurants, and there's like a shell books, like a bookstore that has like a Koopa shell. I love that kind of stuff.
Nice. What about you, Tabor?
Oh, the big finale, Tabor's favorite badge.
What are these badges you speak of? I don't know.
He's been prepping for this question.
These badges, the most valuable resource in the game. What's your favorite?
Are you one of those?
He doesn't need no stinking.
If I could trade in all of these badges for 1/10 of a ruby, I would. Yeah.
Where would you get the other 9?
Good one. I don't know. If I could like unselect and not have a badge at all, so everybody thought I was a bot, I would totally do it. But like, I don't know.
That's the ultimate sleeper move right there.
Isn't it though? Yeah. I don't think you can unselect badges. And if you never selected a badge, then you're good. But I don't think you can ever unselect.
That's true.
So I don't know. Like,
start fresh, man. Just start fresh.
Yeah, might as well just start over at this point. Yeah, then I'll hit 600K for sure.
It's basically the same as a Gold Pass only account, right?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. So I've been like every tour. I like, hey, this is the Sydney tour. So like the one that I selected for this tour was the Sydney Summer Festival. I think it's got Yoshi on it. So I like that has to do with Sydney. That has to do with what this one is.
Oh, so you change every tour?
I try to. I don't do it often, but I try to. But the one that's my go-to whenever I don't change it is just like a gold item box with a question mark in the middle. Yeah. So I just kind of stick with that. But honestly, if you were to ask me what other badges I like, I don't know. I don't study that page. You guys are weird. You just study the badge page all the time. You're like, look at what I did. I'm so amazing. I'm an ACR pro. I'm just like, hey, look, here's a family. I'm going to hang out with my family. Cool. Forget about you guys. Anyway.
Wow.
Did
Tabor unleashed.
I was going to say.
So I'm so glad that we're recording this, because I bet you a year from now, Tabor's gonna like catch the ACR bug, and he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, ACR!" Because you know what? I remember talking with Alex Young before I tried for my first one, and I had the same arguments, and I was like, "It's just a badge. Like, who freaking cares about the badge?" And then he was talking to me a little bit about it. I was like, you're right. Like, I just don't have the chops to be able to do it. I was trying to make myself feel better. And then, like, 2 or 3 tours later, I thought, maybe I'll go ahead and try it. And now it's like, oh, man.
You're hooked.
I actually think it's kind of like a natural progression of the game. I almost wonder if that's kind of what, like, Shiny Hunter, I don't think he really, like, got that competitive. In his last video, he said he just kind of felt like it was just repetitive. It was, like, a lot of the same courses that are over and over. And, if you're not taking the game, like, if you're not going to be competitive like that, then I could see how that could be, like, a legit perspective, but I'm almost kind of glad that the ACR, like, especially like 1000 and 100 are there. I don't consider myself a whale. I do spend money in the game, but I think that it's just kind of like this natural progression of always like having a goal and trying to see if I can get there. And then like Jeeves, Jeeves was just saying he's got his 2 or 3 friends that are kind of like his same loadouts, and so he gets a kick out of just getting a better score, like maybe on a certain track or a certain cup, and be like, I totally beat Curtis in this one, or
I can't beat Curtis, sorry. But there are some others.
So anyway,
FrenzyFan guy, if I ever get to that point, I need you to just I need you to come to my house and take my phone away from me, because that's not where I envision myself to be.
We'll have to
one day.
I'm pretty good at making bets. I don't know if you've seen.
That is true. You don't want to make a bet, Tabor. Trust me, it won't end well. Just to be able to.
Right,
are we done with ACR yet?
Yeah, we've done an hour on ACR.
These are badges. This is not ACR. I will finish. I will not select my favorite badge, but I will select my least favorite badge. It's the only top 100 that I didn't wear. It was this one here. I guess you can't really. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's hard.
It's really hard to see.
No.
Keep going.
More. Mario Racer.
The racing.
Oh, Mario Racer.
It was first one. That was your first one? That was my least favorite, because that was the tour where I finished 11th. And I did not want to wear that badge. Right. It was a disrespect, because I'm like, I wanted a top 100. I wanted a top 10 badge, and I didn't get it. I was so close. I think it was like 4,000 points away. So that was fun. That was a guy's little icebreaker, and sorry it took us an hour and 10 minutes to get to, but I know before, I don't want to delay anything, because we're having so much fun. We're getting into all these topics. Herooftheskies asks, this is probably on everyone's mind who's watching this, what are your thoughts on the biggest update we've ever seen in Mario Kart Tour history that Tabor was predicting was going to break break the game? Update 2.10.0. Tabor, what are your thoughts on this massive update?
All right, so here's a disclaimer. Yes, this is a big update. It ended up disqualifying a lot of the phones, but so in the past, the update has been what it's been, or at least has told you what's going to be coming in the near future. And we got a little bit of that, but I think honestly, this is just the new foundation of what's going to be, of what needs to be done with the game and with the actual, technology in order for it to do everything that they're going to be coming later. I really think there's going to be some major reveals in the future. We thought that they would be coming with the update. They didn't. So everybody was a little bit, upset or frustrated. But I think this is the groundwork of some big things that are coming next. And I know that sounds like a cop-out because it makes it seem like I'm still right. But I think this is true. And I think some big things are going to be coming, probably Anniversary Tour. They talked about how one thing was going to come on, October 6th. And so that is potentially the Anniversary Tour. So I think not only will that be revealed, but also some other things as well, either then or in the near future. So there's a few minor changes, some semantics, some little tiny things that are really not big deal. I know, Sammy, I agree with you. Putting the little token counter on the top, I hate it. all that font is really tiny, and it really doesn't need to be there. I keep looking where the tokens used to be, and I just think I'm never going to get used to it there. Plus,
also,
then it goes away.
When do you need to refer to how many tokens you have? You don't.
Exactly.
You just go to the shop every day and just buy what you accrued, and that's it. You don't need to keep. Anyway.
Right.
I have a couple. Yeah, I think Tabor's right. I think that I don't think you got. I think as creators we have to hype responsibly, as they say in the video game community, and not get everyone's hopes too high for things. But I mean, if you're disappointed by the update, it's your own doing. And I think they are laying the groundwork. I think like the stuff like fixing Kamek zoom boom animation plus the ship's wheel. I think though the next year all karts and gliders are going to start having animations. Pretty much, they're going to start bringing that into the game, graphic things like that. But I got to say, I'm concerned about a couple of these things they're trying to make cooler. The past tour summaries, I am really kind of covering my eyes at how bad they could blow this, because I think it's just going to basically be your ACR score. Someone suggested, say, just kind of the stuff you get at your movie at the end of the. We're not going to have a detailed way to look at our track score histories. I don't see them successfully pulling that off. So my expectations are really low for that. It should be way better. We should be able to click any track and see our record. Improving, giving us more ways to get tokens faster in the defense of free to play and gold pass. I guess some people do have trouble getting all the tokens sometimes. So tokens aplenty might be great for them, but it does absolutely nothing for a lot of people who will be like watching this video. So.
Well, and there's been videos that have proved that tokens do replace red coins for the Coinbox Plus. So I know every tour, like I'm trying to get rid of those tokens as soon as possible. So
yeah.
Anyway, side topic there. What's the rest of the panel? What are your thoughts on the update 2.10.0?
It's fine.
I think, sorry, I don't mean to jump in. I really agree with Tabor on this. It is a good foundation. I'll even take it a step further. I still don't have high expectations for even Anniversary Tour. My expectations for Anniversary Tour is I think there's just going to be more rewards, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, actually, this is a good transition. FrenzyFans, you asked a good question about the anniversary. You want to go ahead and read it, or just say it off the top of your head?
So I looked at last year's anniversary pipes. Like the special pipe was the gold pipe that had a couple coin box drivers and then a lot of gold karts and gliders. But the week one pipe, I think there was like Vacation Peach, Mario Hakama, like Waluigi bus driver, like some other random. And then like week two, I don't even think I touched. Like it was just kind of some random drivers. I know that like everyone's saying, save your rubies for anniversary, save your rubies for anniversary. And I think my question that I had proposed was, what would have to be in the anniversary pipe in order for you to drain at least one, if not two, or all three? Because I know a lot of us that have been playing for a while. Right now we have a lot of stuff at level 7. So even if like Koopa Claus, Santa Bowser, if he were to be in like a week 1 or week 2 or special pipe, I've already got him at level 7. That's not going to be something that is going to lure me, I guess, into pulling for it. However, if we get a brand new like high-end giant banana driver, whether it's Mario or some Kong alt or whatever, I think that would be something that like would lure me into draining like a full pipe. So I was just curious what your guys' thoughts were. Like, what if it was, if you already have all the characters and it's just literally buffing stuff up, is that enough, or is it going to have to be something epic?
Well, coming from my point of view, the only driver I'm missing is Santa Bowser. So I'm telling you, if he appears when I've been going on for 6 months waiting for that character, the one character I don't even know why I didn't. I must have not used my phone for a week. I don't quite know why I don't have it. But no, I completely agree. I've got everything really of value at level 7, so there's nothing. I mean, the pipe I do remember the most is the one that had like 9 Mario alts. I think it was like Mario Sunshine. Yeah. Okay. That's the one pipe I really remember. But now, it would need to be something fresh, something new, and I'm like you. You know, Giant Banana is what I'm crying out for. And it was another boomerang driver just now. Great. I'm not that bothered. Giant Banana is what I want. That's what would make me go in, and I might do what everyone else just did in triple cap. I might just go straight off for that. That's what I would like. But more coin box driver, if it's all the coin box drivers, it's nothing personally. Coming from a whale, which is very different. I understand.
The timing of a
and Sammy D.
Oh yeah, go Tabor.
What your guys' is like? What would excite you? Like you open up the anniversary tour and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the pipe that all my hard-earned rupees.
Yeah, it's Tabor. You thinking you got something? I mean, I've had kind of a lot of thoughts about this because like you look back at first anniversary tour and there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of ways to think about this. First anniversary tour, some people even argue that they maybe didn't even plan such a huge thing. The reason it was delayed is because they actually were watching people like us, and we were putting the pressure on and stuff. They did, the 100 pipes were basically just collector's pipes. You just go in if you want one of the drivers. Now, if they do the same thing and do city drivers again from year 2, there are a lot of people who play the game for favorite characters and who want to collect those things. I wouldn't be pulling on them. Last anniversary tour, I did not pull a single 10 pull on either pipe 1 or pipe 2. It was all about the special pipe. But the special pipe was gold pipe. In my case, I had a second chance of gold dry bones. At this point, if they did another gold pipe, they brought gold Shy Guy in. So the only thing you had to procure if you wanted and were excited about this was gold Shy Guy. Gigabomb was brand new, and we already knew it wasn't that great, but we all wanted to get him anyway. So they would have to come up with a really special character and a special pipe. And I think they need to, and I think they will come up with something. I think Anniversary 2 might be a lot different than Anniversary 1. We just don't know. The whole point of saving rubies for Anniversary is even if the 100 pipes are the same as they were last year, same style, you just have to be prepared because we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know. You just never know.
Never know when they'll introduce the gold Kamek.
Yeah, I think the thing about Kamek coming just now is that Coinbox is coming so soon. I really don't see them doing Coinbox in Anniversary 2. At this point, that would be just like overkill. Yeah. So they're going to probably do something new, and we talked about what other gold characters and stuff, but maybe it's not a gold character. Maybe I just don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see maybe in a matter of days, But it's just a smart thing to do to be prepared. And
my personal
better rewards for sure. Better
go ahead.
Yeah, I just think we're all in it for the rewards too, the extra sets of tickets and all that stuff.
So this is a total pipe dream. But you asked what would get me hyped. What pipe would get me hyped if I saw? Here's what would get me hyped. Anniversary tour. It's a 6% pipe. That doesn't sound very exciting, does it? But the Spotlight, Driver, Kart, and Glider are a choose-your-own item.
Dynamic.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it, right?
Hey, you asked me what would get me hyped, okay? There's no wrong answer here. So, you finally get the Spotlight hide end, and then you can choose. And maybe it's not out of all of them. Maybe it's just like out of a selection or something. But it's it's a good selection of ones that are hard to get.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty intriguing. I in my opinion, it has to be a DK alt or it is a fail.
Yes.
Like everything else, in my opinion, is that is the only thing that they have not given us that we actually want. Everything else,
and that would be quite a trifecta if they pulled off Kamek followed by by Boomerang followed by DK. I mean, that would be a grand slam.
It would.
So anyway, that's we'll see what happens. We're not that far away from it. Maybe it's in October. Who knows? Maybe it's next year. It doesn't seem to be very congruent with the actual calendar. But whatever. I mean, I think it's a great point because I'm looking. You send us the pictures. Like none of this looks that great. In fact, thinking about the gold pipe during the summer celebration, like that was a much better pipe than this gold pipe here. And that was during a summer celebration. So I don't know how they're going to top that pipe.
Yeah.
Unless
we have to acknowledge that they've built the game so much in year 2. 1.5 anniversary was bigger than year 1 anniversary, basically, and so they have to kind of keep building. They know what the player base has changed, and they kind of have to live up to it. Jeez, I think he was trying to say something too. I still want to get him love.
Sorry. This is probably even more out of a stretch than what Tabor said, but I would like just a pipe that just had tickets in it. And, he had a spotlight, and it had, 5 high-end driver tickets, point cap tickets.
That would be pretty amazing.
It just, I think there's a lot of players out there that I think that are wanting more tickets than actual drivers, karts, gliders. Heck, I need item tickets. I always kind of fall... I can't save them for some reason. So I would love just to get, when I get, the TCP, when I get, when I pull that and I get 10 item tickets, I'm really excited about that, almost as much as getting a high end. Because I could use that. That's huge. So, it's just an all ticket height, or a thing. And I don't know if it would have, spotlights or not, but,
I think that's
it's a stretch.
No, but I think that's a cool idea. They had a driver pipe, and all that was in there were driver tickets, and then there was a kart pipe, and there was a glider pipe. You could pull a couple of which one. The only reason I don't think that they would do that, again, because they can do anything they want, is just I do think that Nintendo is trying to manage the whales. They're trying to keep the whales at bay. They're trying to slow down the whales and try to get others to get caught up. That's why I think that they shut down shops for people. I think that's why they do some of the things they do, like this gold pipe. A lot of whales didn't pull on it because they already had a lot of the items at 7, whereas that helps new players catch up. So I think Nintendo, that's why I think they haven't released level 100. I think that's why they've tried to allow people that are casuals to catch up to whales. So I think that pipe would be massive for whales, because whales would extend their lead. That's the only hesitation I have, so I don't think Nintendo wants to do that. I wish they probably would, if they could find a way to reverse that, they would, is give high-end tickets to the non-whales. So anyway, that's my thought on that.
One of my favorite pipes to date, kind of when I was way more casual than I am now and newer to the game, was that heavy hitters pipe, where it was all supers. I threw everything I had into that because it helped me catch up where you were.
And that's a very fair statement, Studfit. I think, and I don't really think about that as trying to, even out a little bit. So it's very fair.
Just a thought. While we're on the topic of predictions, we'll see if this works. I was trying to do this before, and it didn't. We have a question from AussieKart that I'd like to get.
Aussie. Love you, Aussie.
See if I can pop them in here. Playing live. Come on.
Subscribe to Studfit. Hit that notification bell.
Smash that like button, people.
Smash it. Doesn't
Become
seem to be
member so you can be on here with us.
Yeah, hey, that's good enough reason. We haven't. I was a little scared that we'd have too many people and it would be too chaotic, but it's worked out really well. And I think there's some Jeeves fans out there. There's obviously a lot of Karim's fans, but it's exciting to have
Karim.
people on there. What's not to like?
I know
he's got an awesome accent. Yeah. Man, I don't. I'll work on this. So as I'm trying to pull that up. In the meantime, we'll go to the next question that's prediction related. TheKnightRoso asks, of the high-end drivers, karts, and gliders released in the past 3 tours, if any, do you think will go on to be a top 15 item? So we're thinking drivers, again, we'll repeat them: Penguin Mario, Kamek, Yoshi Kangaroo. Karts, we're talking about Ice Dozer, Kamek Zoom Broom, Silver King, Green Double Decker, Dark Cat Cruiser, I think Black Cat Cruiser, Dream Glider, Surf. No, I think he's thinking about something. Sorry. End of sentence after Black Cat Cruiser, Gliders, Dream Glider, Silver Surfmaster, and Ship's Wheel. The only one I'll have you hold off on is the Yoshi Kangaroo Bounce, because that is what AussieKart is asking about. But of those items, what do you think is if you only had to pick one to put to try to guarantee, think about like trading stocks, if you had to pick one, which one would it be of those items?
Like one driver, cart, and glider? Is that what you're saying? Or just one overall?
Out of those items I just mentioned, what do you think is the one that if you had to guarantee being top 15?
I'm going to say the Silver Wheel.
Silver Wheel?
Ship's Wheel?
Oh, the Ship's Wheel.
The Silver Wheel or the Ship's King? A combination of the Silver King and the Ship's Wheel. I can't pick between the two of them.
Yeah, those are definitely the most wanted, I think, from the crew here. And then the whole will Penguin Mario actually become a thing because he wasn't pulled. We'll just have to see.
I'll buy that.
Yeah, maybe not. And then Yoshi Kangaroo, obviously, worked out really well for Ninja. Now we have our second high-end boomerang driver. Will he get buffed well, or I'm thinking about leaving him behind? It's crazy to say, but will I regret that or not? Would be the question. I don't know.
Are you and I the only ones that don't have Frenzy Fangirl, the Yoshi Boomerang? Does everyone else here have Yoshi Boomerang?
I don't.
Kangaroo?
I don't.
Tabor, are you? What kind of Ruby count are you at right now, going into anniversary?
440.
Nice. So you're just gonna stay there.
Yeah, I did. I didn't do any pulls in Pipe 1. I did, much to my disappointment, and I should have listened to everybody else, but I did 310 pulls in the special pipe, hoping to get something. Okay. And I only got 2 high ends out of 310 pulls. One was the Great Sale, which I already had, and the other one was the what's the pink one? Yeah, the
Starry Great
Sale. So, which was fine. Mm-hmm. That was a good one. I didn't have that one, but my goodness, I got 30 out of the 50, and I only got one new one. So that was
really
dumb.
suckered everybody in on that one, man.
Yeah, and then so I haven't done anything on Pipe 2, so I don't know. I mean, I want to get Kangaroo Yoshi, but I've got Shy Guy Ninja, and he'll make me happy for a while.
Tabor, you want to do a tenor together right now?
I did get, so I do want to put a plug in real quick. I did get first in Ranked, which was the first time in a long time, but it was really thanks to some collaboration that Studfit had with one of his ER members. There was ER Fab. ER Fab was in my Ranked, and she just boosted ahead of me by like 4,000, and I was like, whoa, who's this person? And I asked Studfit who it was. Yeah, sorry. Stud Dalla. And he hooked me up with her. Wow. And we got an agreement. So I ended up improving over her by 2,000, and then she improved just a little bit to get first. So we both got first thanks to some collaboration going on. Anyway, so I've got 440.
Look, I've only got 321, but I'm willing to do one live on the air with you right now, just for the fans.
Okay.
Do you need to go out, step into the bathroom, and pull there, and then come back and let us know?
No. I don't buy into that.
That's where your best luck is.
Tomfoolery.
Okay.
No, best luck is on there with.
Well, I'll dare you. Hey,
only if Tabor does.
Only if Tabor. It's up to Tabor.
What are you pulling on?
One YOLO tender for Kangaroo. I'm at.
Gosh.
I'll do it, and I've already got him. But
no, Karim, you don't do it too. This is just
I'm
between
in
me
on
and
this.
Tabor. I'm at 75 of 100. You have the rubies. You're going to win ranked probably again, right?
Me?
Are you going to win?
No.
Okay. Well, you're going to get some rubies in week 1 of the next tour, and you're going to be fine. You're going to have 450 for anniversary. I'm not.
No, I'm not. I'm probably not going to get higher than 5th this week.
But hey, you can say no, because if you say no, I'll keep my 321 rubies.
Well, I can't say no. Then I look like an idiot, or I look like whatever.
I'll do it.
So
I'm in.
I'll do it.
All right, so we're going to count down.
Here we go.
We're going to count down.
Yeah.
Count down and show the camera our screens. Yeah, we're gonna just see who gets gold, and then maybe we can fire separately afterwards.
So here's the thing: I had to do some stat work the other day, and I actually had to
Yeah.
reset my pipe to see the percentages. So even my 2 free rubies are back in, or 2 freebies
okay.
are back in there. So I'm
That's
literally
all right.
out of
How
100.
much your advantage?
I'm at 75 of 100, and just so y'all know, I did get 2 high-ends already. The high-end Kart and high-end Glider are the normal ones. Jeeves actually sponsored the first one, got toe bean balloons, then I got the cacti. So make sure the camera can see if it's gold, like hold it real close.
We can see.
What are you doing? Are you quickly buying rubies?
No, yeah, because that's something I do.
Yeah, that's what you All right, guys, I'm putting on a line here. 321 rubies, potentially anniversary tour is already announced by the time you guys see this, but I'm doing it for you guys.
All right, I'm ready.
Can I get in?
go.
Can I get in on this too?
Well,
Jeeves, we're having a moment. Go away.
We're having a moment. We're having a moment. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, this is epic.
Oh, here we go. Oh, Tabor.
Tabor's is a Tabor's is a fake. He's gonna get
All right,
more
Tabor-
high-end
Fake.
Sammy D.
It's got to be.
All right, who
fake.
goes first? Studfit, who goes first?
Let's have Tabor go first.
We can. We're just doing one at a time.
Let's do your 10.
Oh, you only did a single?
Yeah.
No, you did a temple, right?
Yes, but we can activate each one at a time.
Okay, we can go back.
That's cute. Let's do that.
That's
All right,
cute. That's what I was going for. Cute.
Here we go.
You ready?
This is awesome.
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome.
This is really awesome.
It's like,
Shut up!
I can't believe it.
Hey, level 3.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no.
My heart, the star. Okay,
Now
next.
we gotta alternate. So Tabor, you go.
Sorry,
you go first.
I'm
Okay, Tabor. What is
Okay.
it? Hold it closer. Dry bones.
Dry
Okay,
bones.
so dry bones.
Here's my number 2.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta get my nice upgrade tracks. Okay, can we get a double? Okay, Tabor.
EDIA.
Coins.
Okay, no. Oh, sorry, I tapped, but that was my baby Peach.
Baby
Tabor's
Peach.
up next.
Sorry, you didn't get anything, Tabor.
Okay, BBIA again. Here I go.
EDIA.
Oh my God! If I get the star, it's
Tabor's got to
a lot.
get at least some supers here. Come on.
Oh, baby Mario.
Get lots of coins.
Well, enough of the babies.
This is
Okay.
like
Oh.
the worst 10 pull of all time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like we all need to pitch in for a
Yeah.
pack for
You
Tabor.
got replenishes rubies.
Hey,
Hey,
guys.
I'm the one at under.
pull
I'm
for
going
food.
under 300.
We'll pull for food.
Oh,
I can't
mate.
believe the star came out first, and it was Penguin.
That's
Oh.
crazy.
That was awesome.
Okay,
All right.
a couple more shots here. Oh,
There's not too many left here.
how many more? 2 more?
Commons.
1 more?
So
Okay.
anticlimactical.
Great.
No. Oh no.
Wow.
Come on, Tabor. Where's the star?
Okay.
Oh my God.
It's not going to be a It's not going to be a regular
I think you
feature.
got one super.
Okay.
He got
Is
2,
that
I
it?
think. He had 2 in a
Okay.
row.
Yeah, you got 2.
There you go.
Wow.
That's it. Got the star.
Great idea, Sammy. Thank you.
Hey, like I said, I'm the one screwed here because now I'm 65 in. But we'll see what happens. You know, maybe the TCP will be generous with me tomorrow.
All right. Sammy, who did you dedicate that one to?
It's just for Tay.
Oh, that's a good dedication there. All right. Hey, let me try this. I think I can get AussieKart on here. Let's see.
All right.
There he is.
Hey guys, it's AussieKart here. Sorry I couldn't make it this week. I'm too busy cruising the Sydney Sprint streets. But quick question for the group. Do we think Yoshi Kangaroo, aka Bounce, is destined for top 10 just like Ninja Shy Guy? Or do we think the city start will be his downfall? Would love to hear your thoughts before I invest in tickets, and looking forward to seeing you guys soon.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
Too soon to ask.
No, I mean
about-
after I just got a star that was not.
Yeah, you know what? It's rubbing salt in those wounds. I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, it's a good question. I'm sure it's on the top of a lot of people's mind. And hey, while you're listening to this, you might have access to this pipe. You might be tempted after watching those extremely fun pulls from Tabor to do some of your own. But what are your thoughts on Bounce? Will he break the top 10? And if so, when?
So first of all, I think we need to...
I'm the only one who thinks... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it.
I was just going to say, I don't know if I'm the only one who's... Just the fact it was a Yoshi ult didn't fill me with, like, a huge amount of, like, anticipation. I'm also not the biggest... I like Boomerang, but grinding boombox is something that I don't particularly enjoy. But because it's a Yoshi ult, I'm not quite as... And I know Ninja took quite a while to get to where he was. For a long time, nothing was really happening. So, I don't know. The jury's still out, in my opinion. Yeah. I've got him at level 1, and I'm not going to be putting any tickets in him anytime soon. That's all I'll say from my point of view.
And to be honest, I think the top 10 isn't the algorithm. Tabor's algorithm is going to change here around the anniversary. So
probably,
it's kind of hard to... And I don't know if there's been discussion, like, I think on the last Kart Talk, you guys brought up the idea of, like, right now, the player special skill is, like, 25%, but then it's, like, a tier list from, like, 20 points is, like, the highest, and then, like, 0 is the last. I think you guys were talking last time about having, like, Coin Box be worth, like, 10 points, Boomerang and Banana be worth, like, 8 points, and then everything else is like 6 points.
We've talked about it. We're still tweaking some things, but I still think that Boomerang will be a good enough skill. I don't think changes to the algorithm around skill will do that much to hurt it. But I'm curious from your thought about, you're thinking of like, hey, Mario doesn't get the good buffs. Does Yoshi get the good ones? Like, is there some favoritism from Nintendo for Yoshi? The opposite way of Mario?
Yeah, I don't know. So like the Yoshi Egg Hunt and the Yoshi Reindeer and now Yoshi Boomerang. Kangaroo, Bounce. I don't know that I don't know that he's really going to be like that like iconic. I don't think it's going to be the next Blackbirdo. I guess
because a lot of people pulled for him, and also keep in mind as the months go on, it just logistically is harder to get in the top 10, 15 because there's more drivers, right? I mean, on a basic level, it's going to be harder and harder and harder. So.
It is tough. I will say there is kind of a natural progression of items, and as they're released, they're obviously heavily featured because it's the tour that they were released. And then literally there's kind of like a very slow, gradual buffing. And then all of a sudden they're ranked like all over the place. That's kind of like how every new item kind of gradually peaks. And that's, again, one of the reasons why I was willing to bet on Tuxedo Mario. He was getting bad buffs. But I'm like, I know that they're going to come through, and they haven't. But like that is kind of the natural progression. Same way, I know, Jeeves, you mentioned like Nabbit. Thinking back like last year, yeah, the first tour, he was really great. But it did take a while for him, and for him to peak. Like for him to when he got, I think he was even top driver in the game.
I think he peaked when Rosalina's Ice World came around, and I really put a lot into him at that time.
Yeah, from that perspective, there are new drivers coming in all the time. You still have a lot of good ones up there. Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's worth pulling on and stashing. I know I had to pick between him and Peach Happy, and I think that they could. My prediction would be that they kind of have some similar loadouts or similar overlap, and we kind of see that sometimes where there's kind of some pairing where there's a lot of overlap between a Lucky 7 driver and a Coinbox driver. But I think at this point in time, it's a pull and stash. It's not a pull and like throw all your tickets on it. I've kind of been very vocal about the Boomerang skill, and that's really great for ranked, but it's not something for all cup ranking that really brings a lot of benefit to me. I'm sure for someone like Seffiel and other top drivers that I'm sure they're going for boombox on every single track that a Boomerang driver's on.
You've got to be willing to put in the time as well as the tickets.
100%. To kind of just shift gears a little bit here, TheKnightRoso asks, what is your opinion on people investing in high-end items because they love the item? they recently saw someone on Reddit with a level 7 1400 Santa Mario. Have you, or would you, invest in a garbage character just because they were your favorite?
I have a little speech to give about this real quick, and hopefully let me know if this speaks for all of us. There's many ways to play the game, and as much as I've followed the meta closely, and I've made most of my choices based on that. If it comes down to logging onto the Discord servers and seeing people literally getting in arguments and fights because one person's feelings were hurt because they said, "Oh, that's a trash move. That's a terrible move," and the person just liked the character, then this is not even an issue we should be even discussing. People can play the game however they want, period. Anyone disagree? I mean, we all know the strats. We all know the meta. Yeah. If you want to play that way, great. If you want to invest in Santa Mario because you think he's the coolest thing in the world, then do it. And you just had him in ranked last week, so I'm sure you won. It's just not. I don't even want to give it any more time because it creates too many arguments within the community and too many people bullying each other and stuff. So yeah, I don't have any.
I completely agree. I had a guy who had level 7 triple cap Waluigi bus driver, and I just thought, I mean, first of all, he represents, he's from London, although he's wearing tartan, which is Scottish, but still. And I was like, fair play, mate. I like your style.
Yeah.
I would have done it personally, but
sure.
Yeah. No, I'm not arguing or anything like that at all. No.
I think there's a place in the game too for emotional purchases, right? Like, I think Yoshi Kangaroo has the cutest little sound ever, and I think I'm gonna pull him just because I want to hear him bounce.
Yeah. We're all taking gambles and stuff, Right. I know some of the. What is it, Builder Toad, Cat? I mean, Pauline Rose and Black Birdo are great examples. There are big fan bases out there for Pauline. There are big fan bases out there for Birdo, and those players get made fun of all the time. But now they're having the last laugh because no one pulled on the pipes. So just invest in who you love. I personally love to play with the people who win and get scores. I'm not a fan of. I've never loved Rosalina that much, whatever. But if Rosalina Swimmer is going to get me the most scores, great. But everyone's got different emotions and feelings about it. And
I think the bullying is terrible. I mean, people should do whatever they want. I totally agree with that. And I think my pure example is, and I wasn't around when you guys were talking about, I think last episode was seeing Shiny, and I hate that, I know I'm bringing up one because my foundation on this game is Go Shiny. That's just what it is. But seeing him and his enthusiasm for Penguin Toad was just incredible. I mean, it was Dash Ring wasn't the greatest skill, and who knew? And it's not a top driver, but seeing him go after it was so entertaining, and I think it showed, how he enjoyed the game. I think the way you should, and to have these decisions on what you like and what you don't, regardless of what skill they have or not. And God bless him for that. So yeah,
I think it's just personal preference. I mean, if someone wants to use their money on lottery tickets, who are we to judge? They can do that. Exactly. It's what they want to do. If someone wants to go spend money on a motorcycle instead of a car, and we're like, you're going to get rained on, it's not going to work well, you should get a car. Yeah. That's their personal preference. I mean, it's just whatever people want to do. And I think we just need to. Sometimes we're so into the meta side of the game, we're like, that's not a smart investment. You should do this and this and this, and we can't dictate, what other people want to do, because some people are in this game for different goals and different reasons, and we have to respect that.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
I think you guys have said it really well, and I agree with most of what you're saying. I do like for it to have my own twist on it. I think if someone wants to invest in anything they want to, they have the liberty. Those are their tickets. It's their game. They can do whatever they want with it. And we have to respect that. I wouldn't bully anyone about anything else. Why would I bully them about a cartoon go-kart game?
Yeah.
So and
people find a reason.
There's that. So after we put that aside, I will say that because we hear this with the top 10, right? The top 10 is not like it's not the Bible. People don't have to obey it. It's just a general guide. And the reason I say this is I told you about this Looney Tunes game that I've been grinding for my son just to get, because you have to like earn energy to be able to play the silly game. But I looked on YouTube and there's a guy who does his favorite top 10 characters every month, and there's no data behind it. It's just these are the ones he likes to use. But I actually really liked it because he would like, hey, this person has this ability or this thing. It's really good. So for me, I'm like, I'm just playing this game. I don't know this thing from this thing. I literally don't know anything about the game. I do wonder if there are people who are tuning into and playing Mario Kart Tour, and the first month ever playing the game is here in September, and they're like, hey, I don't know what's going on in this game. I wonder if someone on YouTube could maybe help me be able to kind of make some decisions, just to kind of be able to. And then they find out that Coinbox is king, and then we've helped them, save some tickets from making poor decisions. And really, that's why I get excited about doing the top 10. Is maybe there's someone who new out there who just like needs just a little push one way or another, and this just helps them be able to do that. So I'm really happy about that. But I also never want anyone to think that this is the only way to do it. Now, I will say myself personally, I think partly because we do the top 10, I do feel like I want to back up, what is there. And then in addition to that, I'm not emotional about it. So like I literally, you could just, copy and paste, take off of a character and put it in this, whatever. It doesn't matter to me like who they are. I like Mario stuff, but I don't really like these characters like that much to where like I have to take something. I guess in my mind, like I'm not thinking about this game emotionally. For me, I'm literally thinking about scores and like how I'm going to do things. So
I don't know, every time those sunset balloons pop up, you get a little misty. I've noticed.
They do get me very excited.
Beautiful glider,
they are beautiful.
Gorgeous.
They are beautiful.
But what about the other end of the spectrum? Are there any items that you just absolutely like abhor, or you like avoid with everything? So like for me, it's the cheap,
even though they're good
glider,
even though they're high value.
Like, I just think they're the ugliest thing, or like the Yukata ribbon, whatever.
Oh, Yukata ribbon. You know how I feel about that.
I don't ever want to race with it. Like, even if it's my only top shelf, I'll probably, like...
Hanafuda gliders.
I don't want to see it. Like, I try and avoid it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I do really hate that ribbon. I will not. I hated the Tobian balloons, and look how that turned out for me. The black Tobian balloons. Yeah, because I'm just like, dude,
characters. Yeah.
Like, what is this thing? Yeah, I'm with you there. And it's certainly I think these are it's a fair question, and I'm glad we flushed that way probably too long than we needed to. We have time for maybe one question, and then I have one story, and then we'll wrap up. But ThisBeChris asks a question. It seems like city courses are becoming a little bit more common over the last 6 months or so. Does the data support this claim? And if so, do you think that trend will continue after the anniversary? And then to follow up on that, if cities become relatively more frequent, how would that impact the algorithm in the term of values? We have seen some more cities. It hasn't been like extremely frequent. But then there's also stuff like Merry Mountain that we haven't seen in a very long time. So how should we be thinking about cities? Has your opinion changed?
Tabor?
I don't know. I don't think so. Yes, we're seeing cities more, but we're not seeing the same cities over and over and over again. So I don't know how we can... there's
a lot of them.
There's a lot more than what there ever has been. And even though we have, even though the normal courses we're getting more of those as well. They're still repeating every 6-7 tours, and sometimes even multiple tours in a row once they get reintroduced. So we're seeing them a lot more often than we see cities. So I don't know, unless we see. The only time that I'm ever going to look at cities as a more regular reoccurrence is if they're continuing to be sprinkled in, and they're not like, it's not a city tour. They're just sprinkled in here and there, just a random city track here and random city track there. They're being broken out, even by families or whatever. But then I'll look at it a little bit differently and say, hey, these are regularly reoccurring. We need to take a hard look about how we want to tackle these. But I really still don't think it's the time. Yes, we're seeing new cities. We're seeing cities more regularly, but they're new cities. They're not repeating cities. Some of them are, but they're not repeating regular enough.
I think if this question would have been asked before this tour, I would have said no, but Nintendo did a little bit of a curveball with having every single one of the new courses being ranked. So having the regular and then the T in first week, and then the R and RT in the second week. That's never happened before, and I wonder if
plus
this
an old one or two.
Like we've just never seen that, and now it seems like they're favoring this like these new city tour courses. So I wonder if this is like a stepping stone or a transition into we're going to be seeing more city courses more often, like maybe sprinkled, or when there are city courses, we're going to have,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, it is a different step, but like I think it's very minimal. But it is interesting to look at what they did there. But I would actually personally love it if they would just sprinkle in city tracks in regular tours just every now and then. And they're beautiful. A lot of them are. I mean, Vancouver's my favorite, but they're all beautiful. And if they can just put one or two on a tour, I think a lot of people will be excited about that.
Need a Pittsburgh one going over the Steelers Stadium.
Oh yeah, going over any of the bridges throughout the city. I think it's awesome. I'd love to see Pittsburgh. There was one question from EDietel I wanted to include. What do you think about the dataminers leaking the badges before the tours? Obviously, heated debate. What are your thoughts, guys?
That was a shame.
Big bummer, yeah.
I'm not someone who's particularly big on worried about spoilers or anything like that. I just thought it was a bit of there's no need for it. It was a bit of a shame, to be honest with you. I wasn't as upset as some people were, but I mean, just why? I just don't get it.
Well, to be clear, I'm not upset with the data miners. I mean, they're
no, not that.
But yeah. I don't.
But should they be held to a certain level of responsibility, though? Like, just because you can doesn't mean that you have to, right?
Well,
Maybe
I don't know. I think
somebody else would if they didn't.
Yeah, it's going to get out there eventually by one of the data. I mean, I think the data miners look at the game differently than us, anyways. They're kind of like scientists, kind of.
They're gold miners. They're like searching through so much garbage to find that one piece of gold.
And like, for example, on my server, I could have said those are not going to even be posted, and me and my mods all had to figure out scramble. What are we going to do about this? And spoilers, and I had to ban someone from YouTube who ruined it in the chat and all this stuff on the one driver where we truly didn't know who it was going to be. Like, we were truly stumped, and some people had theories for Yoshi and others, but. If this happens every tour regularly, it's going to get old to try to avoid it, Mm-hmm. So maybe Nintendo caught wind of it. If they do watch our videos, and they can tighten up their website for the ACR stuff and what they put into the back end of it.
Do we know that where they found it? It's been like every tour, or is this? Did they start doing something new that they found? Do you know?
Don't recall.
Maybe you don't know.
But
okay.
I don't recall. Maybe. It's definitely on the ACR site. With the website, it's part of which displays the scores. That's from what I understand.
Okay. So
it's not in the game files; it's in the website.
Huh.
And so maybe they did find it for the first time, and it was always there.
Okay.
So
interesting.
I'm not sure
in that code.
We'll see soon. We'll see in a few days, I guess.
I'm sure. Well, hopefully, who knows? Nintendo. I think Nintendo has to be watching this though, because they have been giving the worst buffs to Toilet Paper Mario.
Hi guys.
Yeah, exactly. So they've I'm always FrenzyFans gal refers to Nintendo as Mario. Mario did this. Mario pulled this. I love it. Good.
Mario is watching.
All right. Well, we are now wrapping up our time together. I did want to share one little story. It actually involves two of our members. Many of you that in our server are familiar with Wade, WD, Kart daughter, and he's been really a day one fan. He's been super supportive. His daughter plays, and his son, who's a little older, didn't really get into it, I guess. I was explaining on the server that I was having some I hated having this gold pass account because it felt like an obligation to keep grinding it. So I thought about selling it. I just decided I would just give it to Wade's son. So Wade started playing about two weeks ago. He worked really hard to move some logs for a neighbor to be able to buy a new phone so it would work on the new update.
Wow.
And he started watching the first rundown last tour. And now he's a member of our channel. He's a stud member, and we're excited to have him. So welcome, Wade the Third.
That's
Yay.
awesome.
Welcome.
I like sharing these stories about families playing together.
That's
and it's so cool to see FrenzyFans, you guys having this channel. I told my wife about you guys, and she's like, wait, that's his wife plays too? And I was like, yeah, you should totally get into it. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. So kudos to you guys. All right. So, in finally saying goodbye, Karim and FrenzyFans and Chiefs, if you could just say a couple seconds, say goodbye to those of you who are watching, and then we'll wrap up. We'll start with you, Karim.
I'll say, well, it's 4:15 in the morning, but I'll tell you what, I'm very glad to be here. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. It's been a pleasure, guys, and see you later. It's been a pleasure.
TRZ hype.
FrenzyFans.
Thanks for having us on. It's been a blast. When we first got on, I've been watching you for like the past year or so, and Sammy D for just as long, and like it's really cool to see you guys on our TV and phones for such a long time, and now like we've gotten to this point where we're chatting on Discord all the time, we're doing fantasy football, and like I just really think that it's cool that, we're actually kind of developing these friendships and like really getting to know each other. And I think that's like probably the most valuable part of like the entire experience. So, we appreciate, all that you do and Tabor, like all your spreadsheets and your data. Like, I know you've been talking about it, and I'm sure you're humble. You actually spend way more time. We just appreciate you and all that your hard work, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So definitely want to give you a shout out, and it's an honor and pleasure to spend a couple hours with you tonight, just kind of shooting the breeze. So
absolutely. And then your opponent in fantasy football this week, Jeeves. Say goodbye. You're probably gonna win, right, Jeeves? What's your team name?
The Crapper Temples. So, I just echo my statement from, I think first time I was here, I think the one thing that I get excited about this whole game is the community. So I really, really appreciate Sammy having his, channel. It's just been a great job. Tabor, your knowledge is just beyond belief. And Studfit, man, I mean, just to have this platform, I mean, it's just really great to meet great people like, Karim, FrenzyFans. We're just getting connected, and, I really, really look forward to the future with you guys. So thank you so much.
Awesome, Chiefs. Sammy, Tabor, you want to say goodbye? We'll start in that order.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Tune in to see what happens to the rest of my very few rubies between now and anniversary tour. And Tabor, that was a fun way to be a good sport.
Yeah,
I'm a good sport on the outside right now, not on the inside.
Oh, dude, I'm like crying over here. I'm like looking at these rubies.
Oh,
like,
poor guy got a high end. I'm so sorry, Sammy.
High end is high end.
So bad.
Tabor needs to announce his Venmo so we can all send donations.
You got some coins. You got some coins.
Yeah, maybe. No, anyway, I love Kart Talk because we get so many different people in here from different perspectives and different stories. It's just great to be able to see how it all kind of just comes together and how we've all kind of converged on this one point of Mario Kart Tour. And like you said, FrenzyFans guy, we just brings us all together, gets us to know us at different levels. Prior to, a year ago, we were all kind of doing our own thing by ourselves. And I mean, just look at what happened with the Discord and the videos and all these different content creators bringing people together. So props to Studfit for coming up with this idea and making it open to all these different people to be able to be a part of this and make it what it is. So awesome. Just love it every week or every other week. It's great.
Yeah, it's actually funny. As I'm preparing for the rundown, I'm like, oh, I wish it was week 2. I wish I could have a Kart Talk. It's one of the highlights of every tour. So thank you guys all for making the time, and especially Karim for it being 4 o'clock in the morning. I just appreciate everyone taking the time and being with us. So we're excited for this upcoming tour. We'll have to find a way. It is kind of sucks we're releasing it after the tour reveal, and we don't know what it is at this point. But Thursday nights happen to be a good time for us to record. So anyway, hopefully you enjoy or you're excited about this upcoming tour, and whatever that is, we'll see you there. Hey, FrenzyFans, you want to throw out your going away slogan, which I'm surprised you're not wearing the T-shirt you made.
Oh yeah, so we have
this guy's multiple T-shirts.
This one's just kind of our normal FrenzyFans one.
But the one with the
slogan.
So thanks for joining us on this episode, and until the next one, may the frenzies be forever in your favor.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Good luck, Tabor.
Yeah.